Good morning, everyone. Today we will revise the topic Investigate Dissolving based on the investigations that we have done last day. For that, you need student book page number 54 and 55. So, the objective is the children will learn that only some kind of materials will dissolve in water. We have learned after doing the investigation that some materials will dissolve in water while other materials will not dissolve in water. We are revising what is called dissolving and everything. That is, when some materials are added to water, they disappear. Disappear means we cannot see that again. We say that they dissolve in water. When a material dissolves in water, we will get a clear water and you cannot see the dissolved material in the water anymore with our eyes. Sometimes the water that looks clean may not be safe to drink. Why? Can you connect this with the thing that I have said you before? I told you that once the thing is dissolved, we cannot see that with our eyes anymore, right? So there is a chance that some dirt materials can dissolve in the water and we cannot notice that with our eyes. So that is why sometimes the water that looks clean may not be safe to drink. Maybe some dirt materials will be dissolved in it and we cannot see that with our eyes. And when we drink that, it can make us sick. So when you are taking some water for drinking, always close the water bottle after drinking. Otherwise, some dirt materials may dissolve in that and when we drink that, we will get sick. And can you see these pictures? In one picture, we have dissolved salt and in one picture, we have tried to mix the sand. And in one glass, you can see clear water and the other one, you can still see the sand. That means only some kind of materials will dissolve in water while some other kind of materials cannot dissolve in water. And once the material is dissolved, we can see that the water looks clear and clean. So we have done the investigation already. And when we did the investigation, what we were trying to find out? We were trying to find out the materials that dissolve in water. So for the sugar, what was our answer? We have tried checking whether the sugar will dissolve or no, and we found out that the sugar can dissolve in water, right? What about the rice? It will dissolve or it will not dissolve. When Miss Rose tried to mix the rice in the water, the rice didn't dissolve. That means I was able to see the rice again with my eyes. That means it will not dissolve. What about the salt? Yes, salt will dissolve in water. That means once I put salt in the water and mix it, I cannot see the salt anymore in the water. The curry powder. Did it dissolve or it did not dissolve? What did you see yesterday? When I tried to mix that in the water, it was floating on the water here and there. That means it will not dissolve in the water. What about lentils? Lentils, just like rice, it will not dissolve in the water. Why? Because once I tried to mix that in the water and just look inside the glass, I was able to see the lentils there itself. That means it was not dissolving in the water. Now the coffee powder. The coffee powder is dissolving in the water, but only thing is the color of the water is changing to the brown color. But we cannot see any coffee powder particles inside that. It will dissolve in the water. What about sand? The sand will not dissolve in water. As I said before, if I try to mix sand in the water, I will mix it. After 1 minute or some time, I can see the sand will be sinking downside. It will be in the down part or the bottom part of the glass. So I have one question here. We have tried checking about so many different materials, right? These materials will dissolve easily in hot water or cold water. What do you think? These materials will dissolve more easily in hot or warm water. So this is your homework. What you have done in the investigation, you are going to write all those things here now, okay? Your homework is page number 47 and 48. If you are not able to write this much, you can write only page number 48. But try to write. Miss Rose will help you. If you write, you can improve your writing skills also, okay? So I will read out the questions. You try to answer that, okay? What are you trying to find out when you are doing the investigation? What you are trying to find out? You are trying to find out to change the shape of the material? No. What you were finding out? You were finding out the materials that dissolve in water, right? What do you think will happen? And explain why. Here you want to write what you think will happen before doing the experiment or the investigation. What is in your mind? What do you think? That is what you are going to write here. So, Ms. Rose thinks that some material will dissolve in water while some other materials will not dissolve in water. If you think that all the materials will dissolve, you can write that one also here. Here you are writing what you think. Okay. So what are the equipments you will need to do the investigation? That means what all things you need to do this. We don't need that much things. We want different kind of materials that is available in our house and glass of water. Simple, right? And how we are going to do this investigation? Yes, we will try. We will try to mix different materials in water and check whether it will dissolve in water or it does not dissolve in water. That is our investigation. Okay. Okay, this is your next page, that is page number 48, and this is your homework for today actually. But I'm telling you, try to do both the pages 47 and 48. If you really think that it is too much, no need of writing page number 47, that is the last page. But this one is compulsory and everybody has to write it. Please try to write both the pages. It can help you so much to improve your writing skills. Okay, so we will move on to question number 5. What will you do to make sure you are doing a fair test? That means what you are doing to make sure you are treating all the materials in the same way. For example, I am taking sugar and mixing that with the water. And when I take the coffee, I am trying to mix that with the milk. That is not fair. Okay? Or if you are taking some hot water for sugar, you can mix it well. But when you are taking some other materials like coffee or oil, don't take the cold water. Okay? If you are taking the warm water for everything, take warm water. Make sure you are doing the same thing for all the materials. Okay? And even when you are taking the water, try to take this water in the same temperature. Maybe if it is hot, take the hot water for all the materials. If you are taking the cold water, just take the cold water for everything. Okay, that means only the materials will change. Okay, the water will be the same. Like if it is hot, it should be hot. If it is cold, it should be cold. Okay, and now you have to complete this table to summarize your findings. Okay, so first we have to write what is the material that you have tested and your prediction. Prediction is very important in science. Prediction means what you think before doing the experiment or investigation. What did you think? That is very important for us, so you have to write that one here. Okay, next one is, after doing the experiment, did it dissolve? What did you observe? If you think that or if you see that it has dissolved, you have to write yes. And in the last part you have to write describe any other changes happen to the water. So when we mix the sugar, there will not be any changes. Or if you want to write something, you can write that the taste of the water will change. It will turn to sugary or sweet, right? That you can write there. The next one can be coffee powder. You can write your own thing, okay? Miss Rose is writing coffee powder. I think that it will dissolve in water. Once I finish the investigation, I observe that it dissolved in water, so I'm writing a yes. Once it dissolved in the water became brown color. So that is the change happened to the water, okay? So I am marking that one also. So what did you find out? We found out that only some materials will dissolve in water, some materials will not dissolve in water. That was our finding. Yes, when we did it yesterday, that was our finding. So what did you find? You can write it over there, okay? Now explain how you can tell that there is sugar in a cup of water even though it has dissolved. Once something is dissolved, we cannot see that with our eyes. But how we can say that there is sugar in the dissolved water? Yes, it will taste sweet. Very good. So you can write that one also. So what all things we have learned from this lesson in this week? Yes, some materials will dissolve when you mix them with water. Not see dissolved materials in the water. Water that looks clean may not be safe always. I hope you have learned and enjoyed the lesson dissolving materials. Thank you everyone.